Alright, welcome guys to another live stream. I'm your host Morgan Ozpin, and today we're gonna be doing a freaking bonus stream, aka a stream that I don't usually do on this channel. So if you guys are new to what I do on my live streams, you know that I usually do my Blender and occasionally music live streams here on this channel. But oh hello, T-Joe. Hello, T-Joe. So if you guys are new to this stream, you would know that I usually do some Blender streams here on my live streams. But I'm now testing more recently right now that the potential of doing a bunch of more variety stuff on my channel. So I started doing a little bit of some gaming streams every now and then in between projects to sort of spice things up for you guys in the live stream, and I decided that every now and then we would do these kinds of streams. And today I decided to do something that I've seen some creators do. I think this has been like a trend ever since like the dawn of live streaming, I think, or the dawn of people just recording themselves doing stuff on their computer and stuff. It's called the 16 personality test, aka the infamous Myers-Briggs personality test. That is definitely legit and not based on pseudoscience whatsoever. So if you guys don't know what the 16 personality type test is, it's basically just a test to determine what kind of person you are within a spectrum. Well, not really a spectrum, more so like a series of types that are pretty much based on like 4 categories of spectrums that I can't really describe right now. I think you guys would have heard of this if you are like a big fan of psychology in the internet and you stumble across one of those icebergs about psychology throughout history. So the Myers-Briggs personality test was a test back then to determine what kind of person you are in terms of your human behavior. But then it was like later debunked like a couple of years after, I guess, because we learned more about how we behave as humans, and now we are at a point where we realize that we are much more complicated people when it comes to these that we're much more complicated than having to categorize ourselves into like 16 personalities. So so basically this test is basically not based on science whatsoever. However, I'm still gonna take this test because it's just very fun. Just knowing where you land in a spectrum that's very ambiguous and all. And plus, I never really gave you guys like a proper introduction to who I am as a person. I mean, sure, I do kind of like talk about who I am in real life most of the time in my chatting streams while I do some grease pencil animations in Blender. But if you're like a new viewer in my channel, you probably would think that there's some lore that you're missing whenever you tune into some of those streams that I do. So to sort of, I guess, introduce myself more properly here, I've decided to take the 16-bit personality test because it's just that good of a test, I guess, to sort of determine who I am as a person right now. Granted, it won't really. I know that there are some people that were debunked this test and noticed that it doesn't really determine the type of person you are throughout your life, but it at least can give you an example of who you are as a person, just as when you are taking the test. So, with that being said, let's just jump into it, shall we? Now, keep in mind, I just want to say I'm not really a psychology expert, you're talking to a dentistry student. So you're basically talking to the wrong to a guy in a field that is unrelated to psychology, and it's not even in the degree in which he can call himself an expert. So anything that has to do with anything that I have to say about psychology is probably freaking fake or something. Although I did do my research a little bit before taking this test about when it comes to its history and all. So take that, I guess, with a grain of salt. Do you know Water Flame and Dim Rain 47? No, I don't know who those people are. Are those like content creators or something? But anyway, let's just jump into it, shall we? Yeah, white is blacked out. Alright. So basically how this test works is that you either agree or disagree to a prompt that they pull up here on the top left corner of a question. And the first question here is, you regularly make friends? I have to like I have to like hard disagree on that. Like, I don't really make a lot of friends when whenever I like go out and shit, and I never really like take the time to actually actively find friends on my own spare time. So I have to like really hard disagree on that. I was gonna add to that freaking question. Oh well, let's just move on. I guess I'm just like any other chatter here that live streams, that chats on stream. You know, like it's really hard to make friends nowadays, especially like face to face. But I also find it hard to also make friends online, mostly because I don't really use like social media apps that much, like Twitter, Facebook, or Discord. I guess the most I've ever tried to make new friends online is when I tried to join the Blender Discord app, and during that time I found a bunch of people like making Blender art there and streaming their creation process through the video chatting app they have there. And I did that for quite a while. I met the Discord moderator, which had the voice of a typical Discord moderator. You know, he has that voice wherein he is like, he is most likely to say actually in one of his sentences. So yeah, I definitely like tried to make friends there, but I quickly like got out of the community, because it does kind of, because I kind of joined the community to sort of focus on my work, but then I realized that I'm enjoying too much I'm enjoying too much on like communicating with the members there, that I freaking wasn't really focusing on my Blender work at that time. So I quickly got out of the community as fast as I could. But they're still like pretty good people. I think they're the only time I had a little bit of a I guess a bad moment with them was when a bunch of underage kids came in to one video chatting experience that I had and decided to just play Roblox in the background. And like, what the frick are you kids doing here? We're making Blender shit, not gaming stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I have to hard disagree on the first question here. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. Well, if you know that, if you know my ongoings in Blender, then you do know that I do like my complex ideas, and I do a lot of like toon shader stuff. So that's technically a novel thing as of the moment. I mean, granted, there are now more movies coming out that sort of tries to take advantage of the toon shaded art style. But yeah, I think even up to now, I still try to chase for like unique ideas whenever I try to, you know, to make content online, or even like outside life. I try to solve things in the most unique manner that no one has ever done. Just because I just find that fun. So although I do sometimes like my simple and straightforward ideas sometimes. Although I can't really like think at the top of my head at what point in my life have I decided to go for simple and straightforward answers. I guess when it comes to like things I don't like to do, like how to say this, like I don't like studying for a test. Maybe I would usually just, I don't know, skim through my modules and not do anything creative about it. But I think I'll go with like this kind of agree for that one. Alright, next one. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. Okay, so I think what this question is saying is whether I act out of my own emotions usually, or by factual arguments. Well, let me think. I guess to be honest here, I do kind of sometimes act out of like my own emotions sometimes. I remember like this one time I got like really like emotionally angry at one person that I actually started like throwing a tantrum, I think. But that was like when that was back when I was like a kid. Right now, I don't think I'm that emotionally charged as when I was than I am now. Although I could like name a couple of times wherein someone would be completely right, but because he acted like a he acted so annoyingly or acted like an ass in front of me the entire time, I would just ignore all factual arguments and just hate that person for the rest of my life. Although I'm putting that like very I'm being I'm like exaggerating when I say that, but yeah, I do sometimes have some emotional moments even as an adult. So I think I'll go for slightly agree here. Although I do now try my best to at least see the facts over how the person like treats me, especially like through my college, especially when I go through my like college classes. I would have like the strictest of teachers, but even if they are like very rough when it comes to their teaching, their teaching skills, I kind of understand what their intent now is as a teacher. So yeah, I think I'll go with like agree with that one. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. Oh my god. I think my mom like once walked, or like my sister walked. Actually, both my mom and sister walked into my room once, and they freaking freaked out the moment they saw the mess that is in my room right now. Granted, I am like living with my brother here in my room, so I guess part of the mess has to also come with him. But if I'm being honest, between me and him, I think I'm like the one that's usually responsible for the mess that I create in my room. So I think I'll go with disagree on this one. Usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I think I have to like wholly ignore. Actually, I go like moderately agree on that one. Um, if you were to ask me that question like 5 years ago, I would say I would do a hard disagree. But now, in 2025, I don't usually get. I don't usually freak out when I'm under a lot of pressure. I think it's usually because I think the reason why I was such an emotionally charged person back then was because I didn't know what to do in life. But now in the present moment, I have a lot of responsibilities in my shoulder. I have a college degree to complete, a YouTube channel to run, and I guess I guess a bunch of responsibilities as an older brother to take care of my younger siblings. So yeah, I think I'll go like a moderately agree on that one. I guess occasionally catch myself freaking out at some points, but I think it's like very hard for me to remember now. um, okay, next one. You find the hold on. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Oh yeah, that's definitely that's to be like a very. Although if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if I'm gonna be networking with people online, I think I would not really find that very I wouldn't find that very daunting. But if it's like face to face, oh boy, that's when the gloves have to come off. We need to I need to really work hard to make sure, or I need to like encourage myself to actually like network with people face to face. Which is why as a dental student, I sort of like fear for the time when I will eventually have to like go to my clinical years and actually talk with my patients face to face. So I think I'll go with like a moderately agree on this one. If it's online, it's nothing. It's nothing. Networking is nothing to me. Like as a challenge, it's nothing to me. But if it's face to face, oh my god, that's that's like S tier levels of impossible. Oh, by the way, I noticed that you guys are chatting here in my chat. Oh, your name is Simon? Okay. Waterflame and Dream Rain. Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of Waterflame before. I think he did like the soundtrack to like Riddle School Free, was it? The one that goes dun 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 dun. Yeah, I think I've heard of Waterflame before. Not a bunch of Dim Rain though. I don't know Dim Rain. Probably have to look him up. I do kind of like some of the music artists there in Newgrounds. I think I listened to like Paragon X9 in Newgrounds back then, as well as Creo. Creo I think is like a recent artist that has recently been popping up on Newgrounds. I like his song Game Maker and what's it called? Rock Thing. It's basically non-lyrical songs that you can pretty much just play in the background. It's pretty hype. It's kind of like watching or listening to like a Carpenter Brute soundtrack, but it's made by an indie guy in Newgrounds. Both famous for on Newgrounds and Geometry Dash. Oh, okay. What is your favorite game? Favorite game? My favorite game has to be Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. It's like a GBA game that I used to play. Actually, I kind of like sometimes play it now. Up to now, I still kind of play the game. It's a game released in like 2003 in the Game Boy Advance, and I haven't played it on release, but I did like play it while I was like looking for. Because I like recently got into like the Metroidvania rabbit hole, and I started like playing one day like back in like 2022. Some old Metroid and Castlevania games made by Igarashi, Koji Igarashi, and I think out of all the Metroid and Castlevania games I played so far, I think I kind of like Aria of Sorrow. That game is pretty hype. I hope somebody would make a level using his song in Geometry Dash. Oh, you mean Water Flame? Oh. Wait, I thought he already made a. You're saying that he already made a. There's already a level there in Geometry Dash that is made by Water Flame. Oh well. Let's continue on with the program here, shall we? Okay, we got like 10 steps to complete here. So I think we're in page 2. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. Well, I did have like a recent video assignment to do at my college recently, and I performed that way too early before deadline. However, I think it's like a give and take for me. Sometimes I do catch myself like working well before the deadline, while there are some cases where I would find myself still working on a project and it's way past the due date. So I'll go for like neutral. Although I don't think neutral can like really give me a good idea of what my personality would be. I've heard of how about how researchers don't like it when their the respondents always go for like the neutral answer here. So I guess for the sake of getting some clear answers here in this test, I think I'll go like slightly agree. Maybe. Oh, the recent Uground artist. Oh, Creo. Yeah, I want him to. I think Game Maker would work well as a Geometry Dash level, if I'm being honest with you guys. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data.
Hello.
Oh, hello. What's up? So, do you agree with the fact that people's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data?
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means.
No.
I think, yeah, I think I have to agree with. I mean, kind of like depends. Do you mean when you say speak louder to you? Do you mean like just like based on like you just scrolling around stuff in social media? Because if that's the case, then yeah, stories and emotions do kind of speak louder to me. But if I am gonna be in a situation where I want to try and look for the truth, then numbers and data all the way, you know. But I guess most often than not, I guess it's like emotions. Stories and emotions speak louder to me. I mean, it is the reason why I do kind of make my animations and stuff online. You know, all my art projects online. Because I kind of am inspired by the stories that people tell online, both fiction and non-fiction. So I think I'll agree with this. I guess yeah, moderately agree on this one. We like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Oh boy. I think I'll go with like moderately. Although I do kind of always want to try and list stuff if I'm trying to buy some groceries. And just recently, even if I'm not like posting schedule stuff here on this channel, I do kind of now make it a habit of mine to at least notify you guys ahead of time what my what I'll do a day before. So maybe like slightly disagree on this. If you asked me this question like a few weeks ago, then it's like hard disagree. But now I think it's just slightly disagree now. Plus, I do kind of like my schedule in when it comes to my college classes, and I hate it whenever my teachers would suddenly just go against the schedule that I pretty much set up for my college classes. So yeah, I think I'll go with like slightly disagree. Alright. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. If you asked me this like 5 years ago, I'll go with like highly agree. But now, I think I'll go with like slightly slightly disagree. Yeah, I'll go with slightly disagree. Because I don't know. Just to give you guys like a little bit of a fact about myself, I did once dropped out of a class in my college. It happened to me like last semester, and it wasn't the fault of the professor or anything. It's definitely like all my fault when it came to me failing at a subject at that time. But then I sort of like just decided to like reflect upon my actions back then, and whether or not I should like maybe give up on my course. But as soon as I feel like talking with a bunch of people, I realized that, you know, especially with a college course like dentistry, you're eventually gonna make some of these grand mistakes that you don't know how to fix. And the only way you can try and fix it is to you know to get out of that pedestal that you made for yourself, that wherein you think that you are like a perfect person that is unable to make mistakes. You kind of have to accept that you are still capable of making mistakes, especially as a student. You're still like capable of making wrong choices and stuff, or have a lack of knowledge on a subject that you kind of want to ace on. So I guess now I still kind of get these negative emotions whenever I make a small mistake. But I at least try to treat myself a little bit much better. So I go like slightly disagree on that one. A small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall. Yeah, I go with slightly disagree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Oh wow, that kind of reminds me of a conversation I went to way back then. It was like the Manila International Book Fair, and they had like this little comic section wherein people get to dress up in cosplays and just showcase their arts and stuff. And I remembered seeing this one cosplay of someone, and it was a cosplay of both Crowley and Aziraphale. And I was a big fan of Good Omens at that time, and I wanted to take a picture of them, but I couldn't. However, I was like with my friend at that time, and she was also a big fan of Good Omens. So she was like, "Yo, Morgan, please help me try to get a picture of these guys with me." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, okay." Because as a good friend, I need to at least try to fulfill her wishes. So I walked up to the cosplayers, and I asked them, "Hey, can we take a picture of you two?" And they were like, "Oh, sure." However, I think while I was like trying to communicate the fact that I wanna try and take a picture of them, I think they misread what I wanted to do, because I think what they thought they wanted me to do was to take a picture of them on their own, when in reality I wanted to take a picture of them with my friend. So I took a picture of the two, but I didn't. But I made sure to exclude my friend out of it. So it's like, okay, it's kind of a little bit awkward. I did technically do what you wanted me to do, but it's like you obviously wanted to you obviously wanted to have a picture with you in it, but it didn't happen. So I think up to now, I think I still kind of find myself in that kinds of situations wherein I'm obviously interested in a person, but I lack the confidence, I guess, to like strike out a conversation with them. So I think I'll go with like, sure, I can't go with like hardly agree on this one. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. Oh hell no! This is like hard disagree. I try to at least be open-minded when it comes to, especially when it comes to creative works. I try to be more open-minded when it comes to other avenues that people use to express themselves. I mean, like this channel in itself, like, it's just a good example of the fact that I'm willing to at least participate in mediums of art that I myself am not that much of an expert in, like making games, making music, and I guess also to an extent, like making like 3D art here on the internet, because I wasn't really a big fan of 3D art up until maybe like 2022 when I was introduced to Blender, and I just decided to like take a swing at it, and now it's just a staple of this channel, the fact that I am able to do these 3D models with you guys. And I kind of want I still want to try and explore other ways people make art online. Even in my spare time, I sometimes like watch like some indie animations on Newgrounds, and try to watch some obscure Netflix shows that I might find in Netflix. So yeah, I go like hard disagree on that one. I am very interested in what people do online. For example, I just recently watched Knights of Guinevere published by Glitch Productions just recently. I think that was pretty fire. I was a big fan of the Owl House back when it was released on Disney Plus, and I thought that was a fire show. It was. I think the Owl House has to be like a show that could pretty much rival the quality that Gravity Falls had back then on the Disney Channel. So yeah, I'll go with the hard disagree on that one. And before we move on, I just I keep ignoring the chat here. I know Creo. Creo combined jazz with EDM. Oh, I didn't know that those were like the genres that Creo does. I don't really have any knowledge on what music goes into which genre. So yeah, I kinda a unique insight from you that Creo makes music that's a combination of jazz and EDM. Alright, let's go with the next few questions here. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Hold on, I just noticed that. Oh wait, no, the BGM's working. Alright. I thought there was like I thought the background audio isn't playing, but turns out it's still playing in the background. Alright, you prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Um, I think I try to balance out facts and feelings for the majority of my of whenever I try to, like, I guess, judge a course of action. I'm trying to think if there's like any events that I can like give for this kind of question. Now it's just a matter of, where do I usually lean on? Like, facts or feelings? I mean, I do kind of understand the importance of a person's feelings in some cases. So I think I'll go with like slightly disagree on this one. Yeah, I'll go with slightly disagree on that one. Alright, you often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Oh boy. I mean, now I do have a streaming schedule, which is like every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the most part. And I do have, on my own personal life, a college class schedule to follow. But that's not made by me. That's made by the college. If the college didn't make a schedule, I think I would not be willing to make a schedule for myself at all. I will like slightly disagree here. Dang, I'm just this test is just really outing me as a person, and just make me realize how many flaws I have as a human being. So I think I'll go with like slightly disagree on that one. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I think I'll go with maybe like slightly, no. I would like slightly disagree. Because I'm of the belief that people are just too focused on themselves to really think about you as a person. You know, as long as you have a decent outward appearance, I think people won't really look into your little intricacies as a human person. Although there's this one moment in one of my college classes wherein I did really bad at a specific like lab project, and that really like ruined the rest of my day, just thinking about what my professor would thought about this one lab project I legitimately failed at. So but most of the time I don't think I really worry about making a good impression on people. As long as you kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I go with like maybe I go with like a slightly disagree. Slightly, you rarely worry. Yeah, I think I'll go with like moderately agree, I guess. Yeah, I rarely worry. I do rarely worry about making good impressions in front of people. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Hard disagree, but I will say though, I did recently do a group video project with a bunch of guys on my college, and I think I had like the best team for that kind of activity. Like everyone was participating and all. Unlike with back then, I usually team up with people that don't really put that much effort into their project. Like I think I'm like usually the one that is carrying the team when it comes to team-based activities. But for for this recent outgoing with a team, I think I had a pretty good time. So because of that, I think I'll I'll downgrade my answer from a strong disagree to a moderately disagree. Yeah. Okay, you enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Oh hell yeah, I think I'll agree with that one. I think if you guys are like a long time viewer of my channel, you know that my VTuber modeling process is definitely a lot different compared to how people usually make models for themselves or for a VTuber client. And I do also try to look for softwares that people don't usually use. I think Godot is a good example of that, even though I know that Godot has a big community now. But usually when you're like a game developer, you always like go for like the big two, which is either Unity or Unreal. But for me, I decided to go for the free option, which was Godot. And I kind of like the fact that I developed this sort of niche with my community when it comes to the things I do for this channel. So yeah, I do try to experiment with new and untested approaches. And also, outside of life, I'm also researching on dental CAD, which is a new field developing in the dental field, wherein people are now doing these 3D, or are now making like 3D printed dentures and all with their 3D printers and oral scanners. So yeah, I think I kind of like to experiment with new and untested approaches. And the only line I have when it comes to exploring something new is when other people get involved, I guess. Say for example, if I wanna get into dental CAD, I wanna make sure that at least I have or at least my family here has the budget to support me when I go for dental CAD. So I will usually experiment with new and untested approaches as long as no other people is at risk of if I ever have to do like a new approach for myself. So yeah, all I'm saying is that if a new and untested approach requires me to fork in some money, I'll probably not do it. Or if I have to like bring other people into it, I think I'll not do it. So I'll go with agree. And by other people, I mean people who do not consent with the idea of me going into a new of testing a new approach. So I think I'll go with like moderately agree on this one. I would moderately agree with this one. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. What does that mean? Being sensitive over being completely honest? What's that mean? I do like being honest. Prioritize being. I don't think those are like the two things that can be put into into a spectrum, you know. Now you can't have one side be sensitivity and one being like honesty and something, or something like that. Prioritize being sensitive over. I'm trying to like wrap my. I don't know why I'm having trouble understanding this question. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. Oh, do you mean like when you... say for example you like walk into like a person who has his fly open. What this prompt telling me is whether or not I would tell the person to zip up his pants or to not tell him just to save himself from the embarrassment. Is that the kind of question that's being prompted here? Because if that's the case, then I think I'll be I think I'll be slightly sensitive. At least when it comes to like giving my opinion towards another person, if they have like a flaw or a mistake I need to point out, I'll try to at least be honest in a way that doesn't really completely hurt their feelings. So I think I'll go like slightly agree on this one. So yeah, I'm trying to imagine myself whether I've ever like raw dogged an opinion I have over a person in front of them. Have I ever done that? I don't think so. So yeah, I'll go like slightly agree on that one. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. I'll go with agree on that one. Again, my whole VTuber modeling process, the dental cat thing, I'm researching on my own spare time. And I guess just recently I tried to look for, I guess, new routes that I can go to bike. So yeah, I go like hard agree on that one. You're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. I think I'll go with you're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. I'll go with like I don't think I've ever like worried that things in the future will get worse for me. Because again, I'm at like a point in my life when I know what to do now, which is to finish my college course, and just all the while I can just stream online as a side job. I mean, it's nothing compared to how my brother is feeling right now. Because my little brother also would maybe answer like hard agree on this one, because he is now at a point in his life where he is now being introduced to the workload in college for the first time, and he's now doubting whether he is even up to being a working adult. So he would definitely choose a strong disagree, but for me, I think I'll go with a hard disagree now. I don't think I worry, although I think the news do kinda make me worry about the future a little bit. Do I have to like tell you guys about the recent news happening in the Philippines, or should I not? So yeah, I don't think I'll tell you guys what's happening here in the Philippines. But I don't think that's enough to put my disagree down to a moderately disagree. So I go like strong disagree. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Yeah, I think I'll agree with that one. I don't really think I have any hobbies that I can relate to with a group in my circle. Or any activities either. I did try to once get in touch with a group in my college by playing Mobile Legends, which is just this League of Legends knockoff that you can play on your mobile devices. And I think I freaking hated that. I hated that game. Just because of how competitive everyone is. Basically just bring the League of Legends experience into your mobile device, and that's basically just Mobile Legends bang bang in a nutshell. So yeah, I go like hard disagree on that one. You can't imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. I'm wondering whether to put agree or like moderately disagree on this one. Because back then I kind of wanted to be a writer. But now, as a person that I am in the present moment, I still do kind of make stories via my animations. But they're not as complicated as the way I used to write stories back then, which is like for novels and like short story competitions. And plus, I have a dentistry curriculum to complete, so it's like I can maybe imagine me doing this as a side job. I still do kind of enjoy making stories, or at least short stories for myself, and animating it online. So with that said, I think I'll go with like slightly agree on this one. I just kind of have like now have like more interest now to even focus on making fictional stories at this point in my life. So I mean I still kind of enjoy it, but you know, other interests are now taking over, and I need to make time for that. So I mean, I can still imagine myself making fictional stories, but it has to be like a side job or something, you know. So slightly agree. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. I do like my efficiency. Although now, when people think about efficiency, they would just think of AI, and it's like, yeah, I can understand why you think the most efficient way to do stuff is to use AI. Well, like, come on, man. It's like, are you really living life when you use AI? Especially when it comes to making art or like learning something in school. If you're gonna use AI to do your homework, like then what's the point? It's technically more efficient, but you're not really learning anything when you let an AI do your essay for you. Like the point of making an essay for your assignment is to learn something along the way. So yeah, I do sometimes go for efficiency, but my line has to cross when it comes to AI. AI is just not the way to go, in my opinion. So I'll go like a slightly agree, maybe, or slightly disagree. That's weird. I'll go with slightly disagree. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Yeah, I mean I'll go like moderately agree on this one. Of course, there will be times when I would like commute from my campus, and the commute would be very long. That I don't have the energy to do my chores before relaxing. But I mean now, I do kind of try to do my chores as much as I can. I think I'll go with like slightly agree on this one. Alright, in disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. Oh, that sucks. Have you ever like met a person that is just there to prove a point? Their own side of things, even if you both sides of the arguments know that he is completely in the wrong? Like, have you ever met those kinds of persons, those kinds of people? Because those people suck. Although, say for example you're entirely on the right, will you still try to preserve the feelings of others? In my case, I think I would preserve the feelings of others, because I am in the mindset that people usually would would disagree with a person, even if they're right, just because of the way they treat that person. So, in that case, I do kind of try to at least preserve the feelings of others while still trying to at least give some facts about why they would be wrong. Or right, I don't know. It's because feelings do have a role in persuading people into believing what you believe. So I think I'll go with like slightly disagree on this one. I'll slightly disagree on that one. I'll still like put some facts here and there, but I will still try to preserve the feelings of others as much as I can. Usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. Yeah. not even like social gatherings. Even in things wherein it's just when two people try to strike a conversation, I think I would let the other person be the first one to talk first instead of me. Trying to think about a point in my life when I am actively trying to introduce myself to others first before anyone else. I guess there was this one time during the first day of classes when I would sit in front, and since I'm sitting in front, it does prompt the professor at that time to choose me first, and I knew that was going to happen. So that's only one time when I at least tried to introduce myself first before anyone. But I don't know, in a more informal gathering, I don't think I'm willing to introduce myself first. So usually wait for others to introduce themselves first. I'll go like moderately agree on this one. Yeah, I'll go moderately agree. Usually wait for others to introduce themselves first. Okay. Your mood can change very quickly. Teenage me would say yes, but adult me now can say no. would say no. If ever I am at a point wherein I want to freak out because of something that happens during the day, I would just just practice. I would just like take a deep breath, like do some meditation, and just reflect on what has happened during the day. So yeah, I don't think my mood really changes that much anymore. So I'm gonna go with like heavily. I go like heavily disagree maybe, or maybe moderately. No, I'm pretty much a very neutral person now. So I don't really like hardly disagree on this one. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I don't know. I have to recall if there was ever a time wherein someone tried to argue with me through emotional means. Although I will say though, I did kind of watch I watched Grave with the Fireflies with my family once, and people say it's like the most the most heart-wrenching Ghibli movie out there. But when I actually watch it for like the first time, I don't think I like ever like cracked a tear. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what is it with me when I was watching Grave of the Fireflies, but I don't think I ever like had an emotional breakdown when I was like watching that movie. And people say that's the most scarring movie they've ever watched. Although I did cry when I watched Disney Pixar's Coco. Oh my god, that one scene wherein the dead family finally got together with their long lost relative. That's always such a tearjerker. So I'm trying to see whether that could be a good excuse for me to answer agree here when it comes to emotional arguments. I have no idea. I guess I can't really think at the top of my mind when's the last time I was given an emotional argument with someone. So since I have no freaking answer for this, I think this will be my first neutral answer actually. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. No. No. I don't think so. That's like... Wait, did I? Do I? I mean, in some cases, yeah, I do sometimes end up doing things at the last possible moment in some of my assignments that I do for my curriculum. But I don't know, for everything else, at least try to make an effort to submit things as early as possible. I mean, it kind of depends on the thing that I'm doing and whether or not I'm really good at it. If it's like video editing, if it's like videos and creative projects for this channel, I would make it a point to submit it as much as possible, unless it's an animation. But if it's something like, I don't know, a skill that I'm having a hard time on, like making a denture design for my class, then I would have to like, I would sometimes end up doing things at the last possible moment. But I think for the most part, I go with like slightly agree. No, slightly disagree on this one. No, like moderately disagree. Yeah, moderately disagree on this one. We enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I don't think I ever participated in a debate about ethics, but I do enjoy it when people debate about ethical stuff online. I do kind of watch people like, I mean, not that often, but I do watch sometimes ContraPoints and PhilosophyTube. I don't know if they're in any controversial in any controversies right now, but I remember enjoying them back then, and I think I will still enjoy their videos up to now. I also watch a bunch of TED Talks and School of Life videos back then. But I don't really watch a lot of those people anymore. But if ever a modern equivalent were to come up into my YouTube feed, then yeah, I think I would enjoy people talking about ethics online. So, with that said, I think I would like agree. I would like, yeah, I enjoy learning about what's right and what's wrong. And whether or not we should even think about, we should even have the mindset of having a right and wrong side in the first place. So yeah, I think I would agree. I do like my philosophical discussions every now and then. Alright, let's go. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. I do enjoy the company of my family, but other than them, no. I would rather be on my own. Actually, I know it's like a very introverted way, a very introverted mindset, but that's just, I guess, how I roll, I guess. When it comes to my family, I do kind of enjoy hanging out with them, especially when we go out on the weekends and just bike around the city. I think those are like the highlights of my weekend is when I hang out with my family and bike around the city. So I'll go with like slightly disagree on this one. And also, I don't usually find people that would jive that jives my personality, but when I do kind of enjoy their company. So I think I'll go with like slightly disagree on this one. Yeah, I'll go with like slightly disagree. You become bored or lose interest when discussion gets highly theoretical. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the subject. If it's about, I don't know, Blender or in my case, at my college, if it has something to do with biostatistics, I think I would be highly interested in that. But if it's something like, I don't know, what are some theoretical subjects that would lose interest really quickly on? Maybe physics or no, I think okay, maybe I do enjoy most theoretical discussions, I guess. In fact, when it comes to my grades in my college, I definitely always score high in my lecture classes compared to my lab subjects. So yeah, when it comes to practicality and theory, I would usually go for. I'd usually be at my peak when we are discussing about the theories of a subject rather than its practical implications. So I'll go with agree. I'll go highly agree on this one. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. I'm trying to think. I think I'll go with ooh. Yeah, I think I'll go like moderate degree in this one. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I think yeah, I'll go like agree. Yeah, I'll go to agree in this one. I think I don't know what else to add there. I just feel like I just feel like going for moderate degree. I don't know why, it's just a gut feeling. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Not anymore. Again, I'm now making it a point to stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Saturday with a video posted on Thursday. So I'll go like moderately disagree. Yeah, I'll go like moderately disagree on this one. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. Oh, that's with I was thinking I did for these questions. I am going for like hard disagree. That's who knew like the ironically the question wherein it asked about my second guesses is the question wherein I don't really second guess anything. So I'll go like disagree on this one. Like I definitely like make second guesses when it comes to my choices. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because I don't have friends. Nah, just kidding. No, I think I mostly strike as a quiet person offline. I mean, online I'm talking like consistently here, but that's usually just the nature of streaming, you know. Outside of things, I think I am not really the lively and outgoing type of person. I'd rather let someone else do the planning for me for like going outside. And I usually strike myself as a passive person. So yeah, I think I'll go like disagree. I go disagree on this one. Describe this and I didn't go wrong. Okay, you're drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Ironically, I don't really do writing that much. Although I do make scripts for my videos, so that's technically writing. And I do blender modeling. Recently got into game development during the summer and make some music. So yeah, this is like a strong disagree for this one. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Nice. Objective facts rather than emotional impressions. I mean, again, this is a case-by-case basis. But I go like slightly disagree. Just to line up with everything else I've said throughout the stream. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Oh yeah, I'll definitely agree with this one. Even though I don't have a list. I don't technically have a list physically in my hand. I at least make it a point to at least have something to do throughout the day. Because I remember back during the summer when I finally finished my game called Helibird Wild Skies. I was struck with the sudden realization that I didn't have anything else planned to do after making that game. And I freaking hated that feeling of not having to do anything throughout the day. So as a little bit of a way to fulfill this inner desire, I started planning for future streams at that point, and that pretty much solidified my realization that I like to always be on the go, you know, rather than to just sit in a couch all day just watching YouTube videos. So yeah, I'll go hard agree on that one. You rarely feel insecure. I mean, I do have my moments where I do feel insecure. But I don't think I'm that insecure anymore compared to when I was back then. So yeah, I think I'll go like slightly disagree on that one. You avoid making phone calls. Is this supposed to tell me whether I am willing to like talk to a person? Because now we have messaging apps and other means of communicating with the advent of social media. So if this is measuring my the intensity to which I communicate with a person, I don't think it's like the right way to word your question. because there are like now other avenues to communicate with other people. I can say I agree with this, but if your intent is to wonder whether I actually talk more so often with other people, then this wouldn't be like the good way to to word that question. I think I'll go with like, for phone calls in particular, I go with like agree. I go like yeah, I go like agree. I'd rather like message a person through text or through a messaging app like Messenger. Yeah. I also once had a video call with a bunch of friends at my college, and it was, I gotta say, it was like it's the most awkward meeting in my life, you know, because no one is talking. They just have the cameras right up in front of their faces, and people were like making these like like smug faces with each other, and I was just so uncomfortable with the idea with the whole setup of the video call that I had to like leave immediately. So yeah, I go with like agree, hard agree on that one. Enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. Yeah, I think I'll go like hard agree on that one. And I also try to make it. I also try to now make it a point for me to also at least hear the side of people that I would usually disagree with. You know, like people who are outside of my ideals and viewpoints. So yeah, I go like agree. I go like hard agree on that one. You can easily connect with people you have just met. Easily connect with people you have just met. By the way, I just noticed I haven't really been looking at chat. I'm monitoring the stream. Is this sound okay? Okay, the sound is okay. Alright, let's continue on with the test. Can easily connect with people you've just met. I go like hard disagree with that one. I think it will take a while for me to get to know a person. Just because that's the kind of person I am. I rarely find a person that I can just easily jive with. Even like in dentistry class, you know, in my classes in my dental curriculum. I would think that, you know, for all people in my course, we could just jive by just talking about prosthodontics or talk about the oral anatomy and stuff. But no, these in college, people are much more complicated. They are still I still find people who are interested in games, in specific mainstream movies, and I'm not really that much of a gamer, and I don't really consume that much Filipino movies or media. So, and that's usually like the main talking points when it comes to the circles that people make in college in this country. So yeah, I do sometimes find it a struggle to connect with people, and I know it's definitely it's definitely not their fault. It's more so a fault of mine. And I try to at least connect with them, although not as fast as most people would think. So I will go like disagree. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. It all comes back to how I treat deadlines. If ever a task of mine requires the deadline, suddenly it's all interrupted and all. My main priority still is to finish them as soon as possible. So, although I did say I did moderately agree on that prompt back there. So I think I'll go like moderately agree. You're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I don't think I ever did. I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes, but like I think it's easy for me to forget about the mistakes that I do a long time ago. I'm also the guy that loved the quote from Meet the Robinsons, that one 3D animated film made by Disney, where the main quote of that freaking movie is "Keep moving forward," and I think it's also a quote that is uttered by Walt Disney himself, and I think I stuck by that quote for the majority of my life. So since I followed the motto of "Keep moving forward," I'll go like disagree. I would like hard disagree on that one. You're not too interested in discussing theories on what the world would look like in the future. Oh wait, I'm going back to the future. To the keep moving forward model that I talked about earlier. Since I'm a future-looking type of person, yeah, I think I'll go with like disagree on this one too. I kind of want to know what are like the what will be the trends in the near future. In fact, just to give you guys a fun fact, I debuted as a VTuber before. At least I think I debuted before. Yeah, I think I debuted as a VTuber before Luxium ever became a big VTuber group. So yeah, I do kind of like to see what the future holds, even if none of it is present in the present time. I like to try and be in the trend before the trend ever becomes a thing, I guess. So, I mean, even if I never got as big as one of those big male VTubers, I still try to see what will happen in the very near future, and I do that by participating in discussion about what will most likely happen in the future, I guess. Okay, your emotions control you more than you control them. I mean, I do have to admit that I am an emotional person, but I don't think it ever came to a point that my emotions control me. So I guess slightly agree. Yeah, I go with slightly agree on that one. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what's most logical or efficient. I mean, it kind of depends on the situation. If the logical decision is to prioritize people's feelings, then yeah, I would go for I would prioritize how people would feel at that moment. I mean, again, this is case by case basis. But I guess just to keep in line with all my previous questions here, I think I'll go with like slight disagree on this one. Oh wait, no, slight agree. Because sometimes the most logical or efficient choice would sometimes be to at least consider other people's emotions. So I go with like slightly agree. Not saying that you should actually just trust people's emotions to carry on decisions. All I'm saying is that there is a logical factor when it comes to considering people's emotions, and it's best to balance that with the facts and all, because facts still do matter, and thus like both matter, I guess. By the way, I didn't like answer this correctly. A personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. A personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy. Yeah, I think I'll agree with this one. I could remember when I started this wrestling animation project that I'm continuing right now in my channel, and I was working like 9 to 5 on making the 3D models, the backgrounds, and the animation frames for this one animation project. But now, now that the project has gone completely out of control, the point that I have now extended the workflow of everything to almost a year. I don't think I have the same amount. I don't think I've now carried the same amount of energy now compared to the amount of energy I carried back then. So yeah, I think I have like, I think my work really comes out in bursts right then, like consistent intervals for my part. So yeah, I totally agree. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you. I don't think I ever think of that, because I'm always I'm always at my A game. But no, if someone thinks of you, do you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you? I don't think I really think about it that often. I mean, I guess there was this one time wherein I was having this general anatomy class way back then, and I had a teacher who was really liking the fact that I am acing so well in my tests and all. But then when it finally came to my final exams, I just sort of fumbled it for some reason, and I can see the look on his face that I could see from the look of his face that he was really disappointed in me. And like, oh my god, did I? Fuck! I think I just ruined someone's day by freaking failing this exam. But I don't think I really have any control over what people expect of me to do. So I don't really worry about it that much in my case, because whatever expectations people have on me is not really my responsibility. I guess for the most part. Is that right? Is it right for me to say that that it's not my responsibility for people? It's not really my responsibility to manage people's expectations of me. Is that right of me to say? If you guys disagree, just leave it down in the chat. But I don't think I have the responsibility to manage people's expectations of me. So I'll go with disagree. This one. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, I have experience doing a lot of teamwork back then, and usually when I do teamwork, it's usually me that's doing the brunt of the work. So since I'm working alone, at least I don't have to worry about other people's asses. Although, whenever I'm working like a lot of things at a time, I do sort of wish I have a team with me. And I'm really glad with the team I had just recently. Again, for the video assignment that I did recently. So I think I'll go with like slightly agree with this one. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. No. I agree. I don't agree with that one. In fact, if it's a waste of time, it's an entertaining amount It's an entertaining amount of time to waste. You know, I kind of like people who talk about philosophy most of the time on the internet. And I think by having these debates online, you sort of learn a little bit more about how to set your mind when you're doing certain tasks in your own life. So I don't think it's really a waste of time. Having these abstract philosophical debates may actually help people in the long run. Like for example, I think the one question that I'm now looking at more recently is, what does it mean to be a man? Because I don't know, like there's a lot of these Andrew Tate stuff that's happening around the internet, and a lot of these people are now like debating about how we should treat, growing boys at this point in time, because there are really like a lot of negative influencers out there that would inject these bad teachings to these children who don't really know better. And I guess though one idea that I kind of agree with when it comes to these debates is that being a man doesn't really mean that you're the most strongest or the most loudest person in the room, or the one that has the most masculine of qualities, whatever even that means. What I think most people would agree that portraying yourself with all these masculine qualities don't really matter anymore. What matters more now is whether or not you are a good person. That's that's really what's the end goal for most people now. Instead of trying to quote unquote emasculate yourself with things you think would make you more manly, like surrounding yourself with gold girls, or I don't know, riches, or $1 billion mansions that you think would make you more manly, I guess. I don't know. Because when it comes down to it, like, being a man, I guess, is a subjective feeling, I guess. It's not really based on anything that's actually natural in our plane of reality, I would say. God, I don't know about if what I'm saying is like makes sense or anything. All I'm saying is that what am I saying? all I'm saying is that these questions really help me get a better mindset for myself. I no longer think that you need to be you need to have like these muscles and or these highbrow attitudes of yourselves to fulfill yourself as a man. It's just you can just be whatever you want, and I think that's a better way to portray yourself as a human person. And I got that freaking mindset through these philosophical questions online. So yeah, I don't think these are like a waste of time. I go like hard disagree on this one. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than to quiet, intimate places. I think I will disagree on this one. I recently moved campuses because my freaking college has for some reason like multiple branches, multiple campuses that I can go to fulfill my course. and I transferred to another campus that was much more quieter and rural compared to the bustling urban city that was my old campus. And I kind of like the campus that I'm staying in right now, even if I know that that there will be like a long commute time for me. I just really like the atmosphere. That's all I'm gonna say there. Um, if a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. Often act on it without needing further proof. I mean, YouTube technically is a decision of my part that has no guarantee of what I would of what would be in the future. So, I guess that's one decision that I did that wherein I acted without further proof. But other than that, I mean, I'm still taking a dentistry course because I know that I at least have a future there. Because, you know, even up to now, there's still demand for people to fulfill some slots in the medical field. So, I think I go like slightly disagree. Morgan Ozpin would say, would definitely say hardly agree, but my real self would probably go for like a slightly disagree on this one. My YouTube and my real life really has like some conflicting decisions on this certain prompt here. Hold on. Alright, let me think about it one more time. Yeah, I think I'll go like slightly disagree. You often feel overwhelmed. Nah. I mean, I do sometimes feel overwhelmed, but I'm at a point in my life when I don't need to stress on a lot of things. So yeah, I will like slightly disagree. I already moderately disagree. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Yeah, I feel like I will agree with this one. I mean, this question really made me compare myself to my classmates who would usually try to do their assignments by asking an AI to do it for them, and I'm like, okay. That just tells me that I am a person that really does try to go over the steps methodically, not skipping anything over. So yeah, I would like hard agree on that one. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. Yeah, I kind of agree with this one. This recent video project I did for my school really made me think about what I should do with the video, and thus my creative side started kicking in. And I was having the time of my life just doing this video project. Even though for most people they would think it's like boring and shit because you have to do a lot of these research and stuff. But I found a way to make it to inject some of my creative decisions into it, and I had a very fun time with it. So yeah, I gotta like agree on this one. I love my creative projects more than the projects when there's like a set amount of things to do. You're more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. I don't know why, but even if I said that I usually prefer emotions over logical reasoning back on the previous choices, this one's now prompted me to choose slightly disagree. I mean, it's because for the other choices back then, it required me to consider uh, other people's personalities. But for this one, it's just talking about choices in general. So when it comes to, like, choices in general, especially choices that only requires myself to think about, I think I'll go with I'll slightly disagree on this one. You struggle with deadlines. No, I don't. Do I? No. I don't think I struggle with deadlines. Again, I try to finish them as much as fast as possible. Okay, and you feel confident that things will work out for you. I agree. Again, I'm at a point in my life where I know what to do. At this point, I have a dental curriculum to finish, a freaking bunch of little siblings to take care of, and a YouTube channel to run. So yeah, I think things will really work out for me in the end. Email? I don't think I want to send you my personal information here. Even if I've already sent you my personal information throughout the entirety of this test. Gender? Oh. This will determine your avatar. Oh, okay, so it doesn't really matter. Male! Okay. See results. Let's see what's my personality type, guys. Oh my god. Oh wow, even freaking... Your personality type is advocate. Oh, even the freaking... Oh, does this test know that I'm a freaking wizard? What the frick? The freaking avatar here has like the wizard. That's the wizard. It looks like a wizard to me. And it's freaking talking to a tree, which implies that it's supposed to be the Wizard of Oz. So, Morgan Ozpin, you know? Get it? Oh my god. This test knows me, oh my god! Anyway, I'm INFJ. And -A. What's a -A mean? As an INFJ advocate, you possess a unique combination of idealism and insight that sets you apart in today's world. Your richer inner life is characterized by complex emotions, vivid imagination, and a deep well of empathy that allows you to connect with others on a profound level. Well, I won't say that I can connect with others on a profound level. In fact, I try to distance myself from others as much as possible. You have an unwavering commitment to your principles and an intense desire to make a positive impact on the world around you. I guess that makes sense. I once had like a introductory class with a professor at my university, and a question that my professor asked to all students in that class was why you took dentistry in the first place. And most people answered, oh, I want to make money, or oh, I want to improve upon a business. Well, I answered the question by saying, oh, I wanted to expand my knowledge on freaking dentistry and, you know, see if I can add something new to the field in the future by studying dental CAD. And I guess in a way that is that is a way for me to say that I want to make a positive impact to the world around me. So yeah, I guess the test is right about me at the present moment. But if you were to ask me this same, if you were to present me this personality type back then, I think I would be much more of a downer compared to who I am today. Your natural ability to understand and interpret the feelings and motivations of others is both a gift and a challenge. Well, it enables you to form deep meaning. Wait, your natural ability to understand and interpret the feelings and the motivation of others is both a gift and a challenge. While it enables you to form deep, meaningful connections and offer invaluable support to those around you, it can also leave you feeling overwhelmed by the emotions and needs of others. Desire to help and your need for privacy and solitude. Yeah, I do kind of have to like juggle with whether to prioritize facts or feelings most of the time. I feel like that's like a thing that you can say to almost about any person, right? All right, here's my personality traits. I am 84% introverted here, 81% intuitive, 65% an emotional sore, 58% judging. Does this even mean judging / prospecting? You're likely organized, decisive, and thorough, valuing structure and planning over spontaneity. Okay. Though I don't. Although I think my messy room would say otherwise. And 74% assertive. You're likely self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress, refusing to worry too much. Oh. Well. Okay. I mean, yeah. Pretty much sums myself up. Your perfectionist tendencies drive you to constantly improve yourself and the world around you. This relentless pursuit of growth and meaning can be both exhilarating and exhausting. Okay, why are you stroking my ego right now? Freaking Mr. Personality Test. This whole sentence just reminds me of whenever I read a fortune cookie, whenever I go to Panda Express, and it's always this positive quote or prediction about yourself, and I always have to like second guess those kinds of predictions. Not that I ever believe them or anything, but like, come on, it's pretty obvious that you're like stroking my freaking ego right now to boost my positive impressions about your company or something. You have an knack for seeing potential and possibilities where others might not, but you may struggle to bring your visionary ideas into reality due to your self-doubt or fear of criticism. What self-doubt? I am freaking narcissistic as frick, man. Yeah, I do kind of have. I do sometimes experience self-doubt. Sometimes. I know fear of criticism can be something that can describe me as a person. But yeah, self-doubt maybe. You possess a rare combination of creativity and analytical ability. Yeah, I guess so. But that pretty much applies to anyone, right? Anyone can be both creative and analytical at the same time. And if you're a sane person, you would know how to like balance them together to make your decisions in life. Your intuitive understanding of complex systems and human nature allows you to devise innovative solutions to challenging problems. However, your sensitivity to criticism and tendency to internalize stress can sometimes hold you back from wholly expressing your unique gift. What? I am sensitive to criticism? Oh my god, you are so wrong. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, let's get the jokes out of the way here. Learning to balance your idealism with practicality and self-care is a key part to your emotional journey. Yeah, I always think that you should always have some balance in your life. What else is here? Your career path. In your professional life, you're driven by a deep-seated need to find work that aligns with your values and allows you to make a meaningful difference. Let me guess, is this going to tell me to be a social worker or something? You thrive in environments that offer opportunities for personal growth, creativity, and the chance to positively impact others' lives. Your natural empathy and insight make you particularly well-suited for roles in counseling, healthcare, education, or non-profit organizations. Well, I am in the dentistry field, and I am willing to be a professor if I wanted to. And I do kind of like the Blender Foundation, and the Blender Foundation is technically a non-profit, right? Oh my god, this test knows me! Oh my god! Anyway. However, your idealism can sometimes clash with the realities of the working world. You may struggle with mundane tasks or office politics, preferring to focus on the bigger picture and long-term goals. Well, yeah, I guess it's true that I don't really understand politics in general. Because you know, I'm an influencer, and influencers don't really know politics at all. um, Finding a balance between your need for meaningful work and the practical aspects of a career is crucial for your professional satisfaction. Okay, finding a balance between your need for meaningful work and the practical aspects of a career is crucial for your... Alright. Look for opportunities that allow you to exercise your creativity and work independently while still contributing to a larger purpose. And I guess that's it for the free version of this. Oh no, there's still more here. Okay, your strengths: insightful problem solving. Your intuitive nature allows you to find effective solutions by seeing overlooked connections. Okay. Yeah, I guess I do try to find ways to... Oh wait, there's still more stuff here, never mind. I try to find like more like innovative ways when it comes to doing tasks. Dedication to meaning: you thrive when your work makes a genuine positive difference to others. Thoughtful communication: you express ideas clearly and empathetically, making colleagues feel understood. Well, I don't really think I am able to communicate in general, really, when it comes to talking to other people. So let's put into question here. High ethical standards: you uphold strong moral values, ensuring your integrity informs every choice you make. Creative perspective: you naturally approach tasks with creativity. Yeah, reliable workflow, reliable follow-through. You plan your projects carefully and deliver on your promises, ensuring others trust you. I don't know if that's something that could describe me if you were to tell me that a few weeks ago, but hey, pretty nice. Alright, here we go. Your weaknesses. Sensitive to negative feedback. Critical comments, even constructive ones, can feel overly personal and harsh to you. I mean, do I think? Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I do sometimes have that feeling whenever someone gives me negative feedback. But again, I'm like, I have a, how to say this? I watch people like the Nostalgia Critic, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Zero Punctuation, all those like movie and game critic channels on YouTube. And I do understand the importance of negative feedback in the modern age, both in entertainment and in life in general. So at least try to at least listen whenever I get negative feedback and see if I can improve upon my work by taking these set feedback. I think one feedback that I once took was when I finally released the Ben 10 fan animation way back then, and someone commented about how bad my music was for that animation, because I was using like third-party YouTube licensed music back then. So instead of like bitching about it throughout the day, I decided to take upon that negative feedback and actually make something out of it. And by make something out of it, I mean learning a new skill set altogether, which was how I got into making DAW music for the first time. And I guess that's like one example of how I now take negative feedback right now. So yeah, I do kind of get sensitive to negative feedback, but I now know how to handle those kinds of said feedback, and that is by actually working working on improving on myself based on what they think negatively of me. So yeah, I don't really say this is entirely true, but yeah, I guess it is kind of true. This comfort with self-promotion, promoting your accomplishment, or networking to advance career goals can feel deeply awkward. Oh, well, since this to work on that said weakness, why don't I do some self-promotion right now and advertise myself by saying that I have a Ko-fi page. If you guys want to see it. Hold on, let me freaking pull it up here. Let me pull up my. Okay, since since this freaking test is telling me that I lack that lacks self promotion here. Hold on, where's the freaking insert an image here. Type in the source name here called self-promotion. Where is it? Is it this one? I think it's in the freaking. Okay, then. Okay, now I'm getting uncomfortable by how long it takes for me to get this self-promo up here. But let me just pull it up here. Where is it? Where the frick is my self-promo? Oh my god. Okay, maybe this test is right. I do have some. I do have a problem with being confident in my self-promos here. Well, let's try to fix that by inserting this. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, I don't know how big this was gonna be. But yeah, if you want to support me, guys, go down to the freaking go down to the description of this live stream where you can donate a small sum of your money to me on Ko-fi. But that's only if you want to support me. I'm not really forcing you guys to donate my money to donate money. But if you have the free if you have spare resources, you can go and donate to my Ko-fi page. And hey, in my Ko-fi page, you can also ask me to do some commission work, like making a VTuber model and shit. So if that's something that's up your alley, you can go down to my Ko-fi page. So yeah, let's continue on with the results here. God damn, that really was uncomfortable for me. Struggling to delegate. Your habit of handling tasks yourself leads to unnecessary stress and missed collaboration opportunities. Okay, yeah. I can agree with that. Avoiding routine tasks. You become easily drained and unhappy when required to focus excessively on repetitive daily tasks. Yeah, I do kind of agree with that, with this sentiment. Like, sometimes I find it hard to motivate myself to continue on this wrestling animation project I've been working on this past few months. And that's basically just a repetitive daily task, right? I'm just making animation frames every day. So yeah, I think this thing is right in the ballpark as well. Overlooking small wins. You focus on larger goals means you may neglect to appreciate progress made along the way. I don't think this really says. I don't know where this comes from. I think I think I still celebrate small wins along the way. For example, I just had like this. I had like I think last week I had this bad experience with a preliminary exam I did before school. But to sort of just ease myself, I reminded myself about how at least the work I did at the preliminary exam was much better compared to the work I did throughout the majority of the semester. So I at least counted as a small win on my part. So yeah, I don't know if this really applies to me. Idealistic expectations. You may find yourself disappointed if your career or workplace isn't completely aligned with your high standards. Wow. That sounds like an asshole thing to think about. Like you have standards to put with people? But yeah, I guess I do have some standards when it comes to not just my workplace, but also like small things like my YouTube channel, wherein if the video isn't up to par with the quality that I've set for this channel, I'll pretty much just dump it right away. So yeah, I think I do have some idealistic expectations to worry about as well. Alright, your personal growth. Your journey to personal growth is deeply intertwined with your quest for authenticity and self-understanding. You have an innate drive to continually improve yourself and actualize your potential. This often involves deep introspection, exploring your complex emotions, and striving to align your actions with your core values. The growth path may lead you to explore various philosophies, spiritual practices. I don't know if spiritual practice is something that I would want to explore, or creative pursuits as you seek to understand yourself and your place in the world. A key challenge in your personal development is learning to balance your idealistic nature with practical realities. This might involve developing assertiveness skills to express your needs and set boundaries, or cultivating resilience to handle criticism and setbacks. Yeah, I think I can agree with this one sentence here. I do kind of prioritize ideals over the practical side of things. Going back to my grades in college, my lecture subjects are succeeding much better compared to my lab subjects, and my lab subjects usually involve me doing some practical stuff like making designs for dentures or making casts of patients. So yeah, this sentence is right in the ballpark. Making perfectionism and learning to value your unique gifts without constant comparison to others are also important steps on your path to self-acceptance and fulfillment. I don't really constantly compare myself with others. And I know that because I don't really... I mean, I am active on YouTube, but I don't really go to the places where people usually compare themselves with others, like Facebook, X, or I don't know what else is out there. Like, I don't try to more off. I don't often like compare myself with others, and when I do, I just usually just brush it off and think that, hey, that's their thing, I'm doing my thing. You know, no one they're not doing anything bad or anything. And we're basically in different paths. You know, when you compare yourself with other people. So whatever they do doesn't really affect you as a person in the long run. So yeah, I don't know what to say about this part of the article. Alright, your strengths: reflective self-awareness, strong ability to reflect on your thoughts and feelings promotes personality insights and maturity. Inner courage: you bravely face difficult truths within yourself, improving self-understanding and fostering authenticity. Deep imagination: a powerful imagination inspires personal exploration, creativity, and innovation in your life. Okay, this sentence reminded me of how I remembered back then, I don't know why, But when I was like a little kid in grade 1, I usually catch myself daydreaming in class. And what I daydream usually are just these hypothetical scenarios of cartoon characters I used to watch when I was a kid. And for the majority of the time, for some reason, whenever I daydream, Sonic is there for some reason. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know why. It's just like back in, just imagine, like 2007, me, little Morgan, is just sitting in class listening to a freaking lecture about math or something, and Morgan's getting pretty bored. So to fulfill up the time, he daydreams about Sonic going on these wild adventures wherein he is in a spaceship rotating around the Earth as his freaking main base of operations. And of course, there's Tails, Knuckles, and Cream. I think a Cream, that rabbit that was only there during the Sonic Advance series. Yeah, I don't know. I think this personality test really knows knows about my daydreaming stuff back when I was a kid. Right now, I don't do that much daydreaming like most adults, because there's like now better ways to entertain yourself in the modern era, but like, just looking at your phone and watching a YouTube video or something. But back then, my God, I was a huge daydreamer. Especially when things get really bored. Openness to new ideas, to curiosity and enthusiasm for deep theoretical concepts enrich your growth and worldview. Committed to improving, you eagerly embrace opportunities to become the best version of yourself, focusing on nurturing your strength. Intuitive trust, you skillfully recognize when to trust your instincts, guiding your decisions effectively. Okay. Self-doubt. I freaking have no more energy to read through this article. Your habit of questioning your own abilities can hold you back from pursuing authentic opportunities. No, I think I'm more so like a open-minded person. In fact, I'm so open-minded that that kind of reminded me of when I went on vacation once with my family, and we were about to freaking go on this like little spot that we plan on going on, and we saw this zip line, this huge zip line that was like high above the ground, and a side of me was like thinking, "Oh my God, Morgan, you shouldn't really be doing this," but my other side is like, "Hell yeah, I'm doing this." So I went to the zip line. All was well, even if a part of me was thinking, "Oh my God, Morgan, what are you doing?" I was just thinking, "Yeah, I can do this," So I don't think I have that much self-doubt when it comes to pursuing authentic opportunities. I can go crazy if I want to, Alright, sensitive to imperfections, you can focus too intensely on your weaknesses, which may limit your self-confidence and progress. Again, this freaking zipline story, that's definitely not something that is gonna hinder me. Unrealistic personal standards, these together a sometimes unattainable vision of personal excellence. Okay, what this whole section is, I think, telling me that I have some set beliefs about myself now as a person. But I've been watching a lot of like Dr. K recently. And I know people have questions about whether or not Healthy Gamer GG is a reliable expert when it comes to psychology, given that he has some ethical standards that people may disagree with when it comes to patient confidentiality. But I think, as when it comes to his opinions, I think I can agree with when he said that reasons why most people don't pursue things that they want to do is because they have these set standards for themselves. Like, for example, if you um if you believe that you're always going to be an angry person throughout your life, you wouldn't really pursue things like anger management or managing your stress or your emotions. If you believe that you are a quiet person or an introverted person, most likely or not, you would not really pursue talking to people or making these meaningful connections with strangers on your own life. And what I came to realize is that these beliefs that you have built around your life is actually holding you back in a way. So more recently than not, I at least try to let go of these beliefs about myself, and the beliefs that I have for myself for the majority of my life is that I am an introverted person that's more so a, I don't know, a creative type of person rather than someone who likes to go analytical and do these practical things like becoming a doctor or something. But now, in this point in my life, I at least try to not believe those uh, those uh, those set standards I've put myself for the majority of my life, and try to, at least try to explore what I can be as if I am just a blank slate. Because I am now seeing how bad it is that we have we have these set beliefs that are confining us to that they're confining us of our choices and all. So yeah, there's a lot to say about that. Relationships. Okay, here we go. In your relationships, you seek deep, authentic connections that go beyond surface level interactions. Your empathy and intuitive understanding of others make you a valued friend and partner, capable of offering profound insights and unwavering support. You have a gift for creating safe spaces where others feel comfortable sharing their true selves, and derive great satisfaction from helping those close to you grow and flourish. Now, in the topic of safe spaces, I think it's I think I have to admit that I think the reason why I'm now, or at least now, I believe that I am a I'm less offensive as a person now than I am before, is because I think I've been doing YouTube for the longest time, and as I do YouTube, I get these like little comments every now and then of people saying, "Oh, Morgan, why the frick did you say that? That's not right." So the more and more I interact with like the YouTube community, the more I get to understand what are the ethics around like communicating with people in social media and communicating with people as in general, really. I guess yeah, I think YouTube, since I'm not doing this for 10 years, YouTube has been a great medium for me to explore how people react to the things I say online. Because if you were to talk to me like a couple of like I just realized that my camera isn't working anymore. Oh shoot. Oh god. Oh god. My camera isn't working. Oh shit. Alright. My camera just fell off my screen here. I think that's why it's not tracking my shit. But anyway, yeah, I think if you were to talk to me back then, you would get like Leafy is here vibes of shit talking from me. And I think the reason why is because it was 2016. 2016 was like a very wild year for YouTube, because it was when people were it was when like Filthy Frank was a big thing, and I was I was like I was just free to say whatever I want without without suffering the consequences. But as the platform evolved, I came to realize how bad it is that I'm spouting this information in front of the public sphere here. So yeah, what I'm just trying to say is that YouTube really did kind of help me with making my conversations much safer for people to talk in. Anyway, let's go back here. However, you need your own need for privacy and tendency to help. Your own need for privacy and tendency to keep your innermost thoughts and feelings hidden can sometimes create barriers in your relationships. You may struggle to open up fully, fearing vulnerability and misunderstanding. Finding a balance between your desire for deep connections and your need for independence alone time is crucial for your relationship satisfaction. Learning to communicate your needs clearly and managing your idealistic expectations to others will help you build and maintain the meaningful, fulfilling relationships you crave. Huh. I don't know why, but from this paragraph alone, I think it's telling me to do a face reveal for some reason. I don't know why that was like the first thing that comes to mind when I read this paragraph. I think it's the whole this sentence here. Your own need for privacy and tendency to keep your innermost thoughts and feelings hidden can sometimes create barriers in your relationships. Yeah. Well, if you don't know Test, I don't know if you know this, Test, but I am a VTuber, and privacy and information is a top priority for me as a creator. And I think even like this can also apply to most to most content creators' jobs here in general. But yeah, I think I can agree with this paragraph as well when it comes to my real life. Not with you guys. You guys are pretty much not real. At least doesn't really apply when it comes to this paragraph right here. Struggle to open fully, fearing vulnerability and understanding. Finding a balance in your desire for deep connections and your need for independence and alone time is crucial. Yeah, I do kind of like my alone time as well. I am the kind of person wherein I lose energy, a lot of energy when I talk to people. I find it like a struggle for me to keep up with a conversation. But that's not to say that I don't appreciate talking to people. It's just that it does kind of get tiring for me to talk with other people. I mean it's just because I'm not really used to talking with people that it has like a little bit of an energy strain for me. But yeah, that's something that I have to really work on again. I think I'm almost like done here. Okay. Be empathetic, attentive listening, loyal commitment, gentle honesty. Capacity to express the truth, kindly explain, helps maintain trust and openness in your interactions. Am I honest? I don't know. I guess so. Not honest with my looks though. Until maybe I do a face reveal at some point. Ability to create intimacy. Your inclination for meaningful conversation leads relationships toward deeper emotional connections. Well, I don't really have a lot of connections in my life, but when I do have a connection, I try to at least have that deep emotional connection with other people. I don't like those surface level connections where you don't really know that much about the other person. And when I say deep emotional connection, I don't mean like you're actually like dating someone or anything. If it's with a friend, I want there to at least be some. You need to be at that point where you can make fun of other people and not be offensive. that's the kind of deep emotional connection I kind of want with when it comes to friends. So yeah, I guess I can also agree with this sentiment here. Reluctant to open up. Yeah, I do kind of. You know, if we're looking at this by face value, these two shouldn't really be together, in a way. But hey, okay, yeah, I guess yeah, I do have a reluctance to open up. High relationship expectations, yeah, I do have high relationship expectations. Yeah. That's like usually because I know that. Because the reason why I have high relationship expectations is because I know that if I don't have those expectations, the relationship would eventually dissipate in the long run. You know, if you just don't jive with a person all that much, then I don't know, it just it's pretty much. I'm at the belief that it might eventually like dissipate at some point. Then again, maybe I just don't. Maybe I am not. Maybe the reason why I have these high relationship expectations because I don't really have. I didn't really take the time to actually know these people that well. So maybe if I open up to people that I think I won't jive with more often, maybe I will find some things to relate on with them. Maybe. Discomfort with casual interactions. Your preference for deeply meaningful connections can limit opportunities for new relationships. Actually, I kind of like casual interactions. I don't always want my conversations to be a philosophical freaking debate or a talk wherein someone learns a valuable lesson at the end of the day. In fact, I kind of like casual I kind of wish I have more casual interactions with other people. Yeah. I don't get that a lot of the time here because I don't have I suddenly find people that have the same interests as me. I can just talk about like some TV shows or anime or movies that I watch that often. So yeah, kind of like my casual interactions. Conflict avoidance or unease with disagreements may lead you to ignore relationship issues that need to open up. Yeah, I sometimes wonder how to handle disagreements with other people. I mean, I know how to handle disagreements when it's just online, but face to face, how do you? Especially when you have to talk with the person the next day, like how do you settle with a disagreement? You know. If we can both agree to just to let bygones be bygones, then that's great for me. You know, I'm willing to do that. But you know, most of the time, people are not. But most of the time, I find people that don't want to let bygones be bygones. You know, just let a disagreement end as it is. So yeah, yeah, this is true as well. Sensitive to perceived criticism. Even subtle remarks from loved ones can easily hurt your feelings or leave your feeling misunderstood. Subtle remarks from loved ones. Yeah, I do kind of put a pedestal to criticism coming from my loved ones, but I don't think I ever feel misunderstood by them if they take criticism because they're the people that know me the most. So I have to take their criticism as highly as I could. But I never felt like I was misunderstood when they take these criticisms. I just take it with a grain of salt and see if I can improve as a person from those criticisms or those remarks. Neglecting your own needs, your natural tendency to focus on others can lead you to ignore your own well-being within relationships. Yeah, maybe? I mean, I guess recently I've been doing the chores of my little brother because he has been like he's really struggling to do some of the work that he is getting at from college. So I am now like sometimes doing his chores to make up for lost time. And sometimes that comes with the price of neglecting my own workload in college. I mean, it's a recent thing that I'm doing. Most of the time, I at least try to balance out whether I should help this person or help myself first. But most of the time, yeah, I am. I don't think this really applies to me. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I think this is it for this personality test. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours. Oh my god. I thought this was going to be like a 1 hour stream, but oh my god, it's like 2 hours. But anyway, that's it for the stream, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two about me as a person. If you want to take this test, it's pretty much the first test you get when you type in Myers-Briggs personality test onto Google or DuckDuckGo. So if you want to take the test, it's free to take online. Aside from the fact that it sometimes hides some stuff here, like when it comes to relationship superpowers and pitfalls and other career stuff here. So again, I don't really I don't think this is like a test that is based on hard science or anything. I mean, psychology in itself is already a soft science in itself, and this test is also being rejected by the psychology community as a legitimate test. It's not not legitimate whatsoever. And whatever is said online about how this is a legit test is pretty much just me being sarcastic. So yeah, I think this is just about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go get ready now for a freaking hangout thing planned with my family. So if you guys like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, and you are willing to support me, you can go down to my Ko-Fi page, so that you can donate a little sum of your money to me. And yeah, that's about it, guys. See you on the next video. Now, go read a book. Bye-bye.